Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcro here, aka Scoot, back with the Draft League World Series, and we're finally actually starting the actual World Series, and we were going to be starting off with Season 1, obviously. What had happened? Well, first of all, as you can see on screen, I do have a full draft. We have an 8-man draft here, or 8-mon draft, I should say. But first of all, let's talk about the Draft League World Series a little bit. So we've got so many people from all across the world. Exactly what we planned on when they were making this, region for region. So this is going to be awesome. Really, it's huge. I was a little bit once we first got started and the draft was happening. Obviously, if you look at my draft, it's something similar to something that I've had before. I wasn't around. I wasn't uh, wasn't in the right mind state when we first started getting this thing popping and stuff like that. My mind was elsewhere. My heart was definitely elsewhere. But now that things are starting to get, popping off and things like that, we do have, I do have a little bit more interest in it now. Especially now that I'm looking at the regions and stuff like that. It's so cool. So what we have here is, it's difficult to explain. So first of all, I've lived between Kentucky and Tennessee for all of my life, and there wasn't enough people from Kentucky or Tennessee to have, a Kentucky or Tennessee team. So I'm part of the Central Eastern United States part of uh, this Draft League World Series. I will be competing for the Central Eastern United States, and we actually had quite a few people on the squad, but the team captain, he actually had some in real life things pop up and kind of had a bonehead mistake one day, and he dropped. So he nominated me for the new captain. So I'm the captain of the Central Eastern United States team for the Draft League World Series of Season 1. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do as captain, in terms of leading and helping my teammates and stuff like that, because I've got, a lot of my own real life things going on. Not enough in real life to negate me from playing Mons and, competing and stuff like that, but still I've got a lot of other responsibilities. And as you can see on the left hand side of the screen here, I have quite a few different leagues, folders and stuff like that, and I'm competing in the official Smogon tournament right now as well, and other draft league tournaments too. So I'm maybe not cut out to be captain, but I'm definitely going to compete still. I'm going to give it my best in terms of playing. I may not give my best prep. It just depends on how much time I have and stuff like that. However, I do have a couple buddies that's also on the same team as me, such as Ginger and the Essential Gatsby and Taksha before he or she left. But that's part of it. So, anyways, I'm going to talk about all the regions. So, we have Arizona and Latin America as one region, Switzerland and France as one region. Georgia, the state of Georgia actually had enough players to be one region. We've got Indiana, Chicago, California, and Switzerland, New York City and Connecticut and Texas, North Central America, New England and Central England, Eastern Netherlands, New Jersey, Eastern France, New York, Florida, Michigan, and then, of course, the team that I mentioned for myself, the Central Eastern United States. And then we've got Asia and South Carolina, that's one region, Midwestern United States, United States East Coast, Pennsylvania and Tennessee, that's one region, and then England, Oceania, Western France, Western Netherlands combined, Western U.S. and Central Pennsylvania, Scandinavia, Belgium, Northern France, that's one region, that's pretty cool, Eastern Canada, Virginia and Western Pennsylvania, Europe, Central United States and Louisiana, Southwestern U.S. and Florida, Northern United Kingdom, and then we've got London, and then California and Maryland as one, Western Canada as one, Western Netherlands as one, Northwestern United States as one, Northern France, and then last but not least, we have Hawaii, South Australia, and South Africa. Those two combined with Hawaii create one region. which is that's a lot. That's a lot of different places I just named all over the world, and some of it is very, very particular, such as like uh, Central Eastern United States, like Central and Eastern. It's kind of the East Coast, but in the center of the United States on the East Coast instead of directly on the East Coast and things like that. So it looks to be really fun. And like I've uploaded quite a few speed tours from the Draft League World Series, and a lot of those guys are going to compete too. So I know the competition's going to be fun. The competition's going to be smart. Not all of them are brain dead. Some of them are brain dead. There's always going to there's always going to be some brain dead players. Um, Even competitive players can sometimes be brain dead and make brain dead plays, but sometimes that's just Pokemon. Anyways, my squad here, as you see on screen, I have Mega Charizard X and Clefable. That's pretty much a staple when it comes to me drafting. If the top tier mons are gone and nothing else falls to me that I really like, I just go to my bread and butter, and that's Zardex. I think it's one of the best Pokemon, one of the best Megas, and one of the best Pokemon in the draft format. Period. I think it's up there. It really is. It really is. It's so good. Charizard is so good, and Clefable's always been good. Zapdos as well. Torrent Greninja has been rising in popularity for a couple years now, and it's a beast. It really is. It has a phenomenal speed tier. It has phenomenal coverage. It has access to spikes and taunt and things like that. So it's such a good mon. Zapdos being a defogger alongside of Decidueye and Donphan and Oricorio in terms of getting rid of hazards. And then I've got 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Clefable, Bronzong, and Donphan. And a spin blocker in Decidueye. So I got a pretty fun squad here, and I'm very happy with my Fairy Dragon Steel Core and my Fire Water Grass Core, despite not having a bulky water type. And then Oricorio is one of the greatest Pokemon of all time, in my opinion. It's so undervalued, so underrated. It's criminal, really. It's criminally underrated. And this mon, it's 4 mons in one. It's got 4 different forms, being a fire type, a ghost type, psychic type, and a electric type. It's really nice, and always has the flying type. Has a really cool ability in Dancer. All my Pokemon have really cool abilities, by the way. Charizard's Tough Claws. When you factor in Tough Claws, this thing hits harder than Kyurem Black in terms of just throwing off a Dragon Claw. Charizard X's Dragon Claw is stronger than Kyurem Black's Dragon Claw. That's just how it is. Tough Claws boost puts it to just a few, like 1 or 2 points above Kyurem Black's attack stat. Of course, Terravolt gives Kyurem a little bit of an advantage, but Charizard's amazing. It's got an amazing typing in Fire Dragon. Clefable has an amazing ability as well. 2 of them actually. Magic Guard and Unaware. It's a pure fairy type. It gets Wish, Protect, Moonblast, Cosmic Power, and Calm Mind, things like that. It's just a really good mon overall. It's just its stats aren't out there, but its typing, its abilities, its move pool, and things like that just make it a phenomenal mon, to say the least. Zapdos has a couple different abilities too. Pressure, which uses if a Pokemon attacks me with an attack move, then it takes 2 PP away instead of 1 PP, which is awesome because you can stall out PP and then force them on to struggle or something like that. And it also gets static, which has a 30% chance to paralyze your opponent upon contact, physical contact. And then Greninja, like I mentioned, I'm only allowed to use Torrent, but that's fine. It's not like it's a huge deal or anything. The Torrent boosted Hydro Pumps from a Life Orb Greninja really hurt. Specs Greninja as well. Bronzong has 2 different abilities too, Levitate and Heat Proof, both of which negate one of its weaknesses, which is really nice. Decidueye gets Long Reach, which doesn't take how can I word this? It doesn't take like Iron Barbs and Rough Skin damage. It doesn't make contact. Like even its physical contact moves don't make contact. It's something weird like that. Donphan has the Sturdy ability, which is really nice, and then Oricorio with the Dancer ability. So basically, if somebody went for dragon dance or quiver dance or swords dance in front of my Oricorio or in front of my other mons as I switch in Oricorio, Oricorio gets those dancing boost. So if you swords dance in front of Oricorio, Oricorio gets the +2 attack. If you dragon dance, it gets a +1 attack, +1 speed. If you quiver dance, it gets a +1, +1, +1, and all of those stats as well. So dance is a really cool ability. Of course, it's very situational, but yeah, it could be very, very cool. And then, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my 8-man squad here, or 8-mon squad, I should say, despite not drafting the majority of it. You know, I kind of just left a big long list of all the Pokemon that I'm familiar with, that I like using, and that I would be open to using if they were to fall to me. And this is what I end up with, and I'm very happy with that. I'm very comfortable with these mons. I think it's going to work out. I don't think I have any like super, you know, exploitable weakness or anything like that. And I'm really excited to give this squad a try and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, that's going to be it. So let me know, let me know what you guys think about the draft. Let me know what you guys think about the concept of the Draft League World Series. Like I mentioned, a lot of different regional things going on here. Lots of different regions, lots of different people, lots of different languages, lots of different cultures. All kinds of great stuff. Like, if it's not marijuana that brings the world together, it's gonna be Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be it. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in some battles. So we will definitely have some battles. We're gonna be matched up with other regions, and eventually we will face all the other regions, and all the other regions will face all the other regions, so on and so forth. And then we will have the final standings. I'm not sure if there's going to be like playoffs for each region. I'm not sure exactly how it works yet. But actually, let me pause for a minute. And go over the rules for a little bit. So basically, we're allowed to draft between 7 and 8 Pokemon using 95 points. 2 Pokemon get to be your Z users, but any 2 Pokemon. There's no rules on that, like point-based Z moves. Baton Pass is legal. You can Dry Pass and Sub Pass. That's it. You can use it for momentum with the Dry Pass, or you can Baton Pass a Sub out. No stat passing. Omni boosting Z moves are banned, which is, great. That's a given. Muninium Z for Mew is allowed. Bright Powder and Lax Incense are banned. And Power and Construct and Evasion boosting abilities such as Sandvale are banned. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But again, I don't have any Pokemon that is going to make use of Sandvale anyway. I do like Z Sandstorm, Sandvale, Garchomp. That's a really cool mon, but I don't have it, so it doesn't matter. And we had a snake draft back and forth. First turn Mega is not required, and that's something that really helps Charizard. I can stay in my regular form and negate a ground weakness, and Dragonette's up on ground types that don't have a rock type move potentially, things like that. And then normal showdown clauses apply: sleep, evasions, so on and so forth. Ghosting will result in a potential permanent ban from the Draft League World Series, depending on the severity of the infraction. And the top team from each of the 12 battle pools will move on to the bracket. So I didn't read this before. I'm reading this as I'm reading it to you guys. The top team from each of the 12 battle pools will move on to the bracket. In addition, the top 4 teams that didn't win their pool will also move into the bracket as wildcard spots. So it looks like there's going to be 16 teams in the playoffs, 16 different regions, which will be real. And some of the regions are multiple regions or multiple states from the United States, or so on and so forth. And then, yeah, that's basically it. And if anybody does have, issues or problems or something they need to address, or issues that they need to report, just hit up the admins, things like that. I don't have a problem with any of these rules. And this is my roster, like I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna talk about my teammates for a second as well, because I think that's a little bit important. Like I mentioned, that's a little bit important too. So on our squad, we have. I'm team captain right now, but that could change. But outside of me, we have Arctic something. That's literally his name. That's his Discord, his showdown, and his name that he goes by as a representative. We've got Jerry TK Rot. I haven't actually met him yet. Sorry if you guys hear that in the background. That's my dryer stopping. Jerry TK Rott. So I haven't actually talked to him yet. I think he's the replacement for Taksha. Then we've got Ginger. Ginger plays with me in the PBF. He won last season of the PBF, not the current season, but he's I also compete with him in the NNDL. And then each team has 5 players. So our last player is the Essential Gatsby, and he's a pretty cool guy. He's got, he seems intelligent. He's one of the mods of the Draft League World Series as well. And he's an intelligent guy. He's a good builder and stuff like that. And all these guys are polite. Like I mentioned, I don't know Jerry yet, so I haven't been able to interact with him. But yeah, that's it pretty much for our region. Subject to change, though. Obviously, all things will be subject to change. We do have some people that we know in the entirety of the Draft League World Series. Some names that are more well known, some names that aren't too well known. Sorry, that was my dryer again. It does that every like 30 seconds if I don't get up and change it. So luckily this video is actually about to end for real this time. So let me know what you guys think about the concept of this. If you guys would be interested, any of my subscribers or friends or anybody watching this video that's interested in joining the Draft League World Series, I will have an open, I don't know if it's actually open anymore to the public, but if it is, I will drop the link down below so you guys can join the server, catch up on things, potentially be a substitute for any players that might drop, so on and so forth, things like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about my squad. Let me know what you guys think about the concept of the Draft League World Series. And we may or may not have some more speed tournaments coming up. I do have 2 that I need to record that I haven't yet. And I'm thinking about hosting one here soon because I have a free weekend coming up. But yeah, that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.